Hi team, welcome to the Learn via elearn.com classes. So, in continuation of my previous class, today I am going to take a fresh new topic called functions. Okay, so what is function? So to understand this before and drill down further into what is functions and show you some programs, let me tell you a short story. Okay, stories like there was a man named let's say Mr. John stays at place A. All right, and for some work he has to go to place B. Okay, now what happened? To move from place A to place B, he took his car and started driving. After some time, he was thirsty, but unfortunately he forgot his water bottle. So he went to the nearest shop for the water bottle. Let me mark in blue. So he went to a nearest shop. Let me mark W here. So he purchased a water bottle, and after having this water, he again comes back to his previous path and start driving. After some time, he was a bit hungry, so he went to a nearest restaurant and have some food. So he went to nearest restaurant. Let me mark as A. So after having a meal, he again comes back to his previous path and start driving. After some times, he was about to complete his journey. Suddenly there was some issue in his car and he has to go to the nearest garage to repair his to repair his car. So he went to the nearest garage. Let me mark as G. So he went after repairing his car. He again comes back to his previous path and start driving. And after some time, he finally reached to his final destination, place B. All right. I think it's a very simple story. Now, how I interact this story with a function? Just watch. Consider, let me take this color. Consider this path, what I'm marking right now, is your main program. What we generally write in our void main. Okay, what we generally write in our void main function. This is my void main function. For example, here we have a set of instructions. Let me mark in yellow. For example, we have a set of instructions. Okay, and during execution of some instruction, there was a task where I need to add few numbers, So I ask my function to perform the addition and give me the output. So here I ask my function to perform some operation. So my my control goes from here to here, perform some task, and then return back to his original destination, right? And after sometimes, after executing some further instruction, some further statement, again I need to perform some specific task which I can execute at any place. It's hardly matter if I am going to perform this set of instruction, this set of task from here only. I can perform this task, or I can call this function or call this task from here also. And after execution it could return here. I'm sorry, it could return again here. I'm just trying to relate my story with a function, so that it's better for everyone to understand the exact logic. What is function? Okay, just try to understand what I'm trying to explain you here. Okay, now what happened after execution of few further sets? This function moves from my control moves from here to here, execute some tasks, some perform some tasks, and again come back to my previous path. Okay, now again I have some instruction for which my control goes from the main control. I may move from main functions to here, perform some task, and again comes back to, I'm sorry, comes back to, okay, it should like this, just a second, and it should like this. Okay, and it again comes back to my original path. Now why I'm telling you this story now is because this main function is calling different tasks to execute his complete program, and these tasks what we called as functions. So how many functions we have in this story? We have three functions. So these are my three functions. Okay, so these are my three functions which I'm going to call whenever I'm going to execute my main function. This is what I'm going to implement in my actual program, which I'm going to show you after some time. Okay, so in real scenario, what happened? A computer programs, I'm not including that those simplest one, except this for the some simplest one, find itself in a similar situation. It's like it can't handle all the tasks by itself. So instead it requests other programs like entities. These are some sort of entities which we called as functions in C to get his task done. So in this class we will study these functions. Okay, these 1, 2 and 3. Okay, we will definitely look a variety of functions of I'm sorry, variety of features. We will definitely look a feature of these functions, like how many types of functions, how we are going to call, and how we call at what places. Definitely we will see, but before that, let me explain you how I'm going to uh, implement this story in our actual program, but just remember this story. Okay, and I will explain you this function. It's that much easy, believe me. So what is function? Function is a self-contained, see, these are self-contained block of set of statement that perform a similar kind of task of some kind, right? Means, as I told you earlier, it's hardly matter if I call this functions from here. Even I call this function inside this function, means I can jump from here to here, execute some program. It can happen. I can jump from here to here also, and vice versa. Okay, I will show all these things, no worries. Okay, so let me show you this story, this complete story in a real-time program. All right, team, in case of any doubt, feel free to ask me, or do send me your queries, your questions, or in case of any doubt, through mail, or you can add me on Skype. My Skype ID is learn via elearn, or you can mail me at learn via elearn.com. In case I'm offline, I will definitely reply once I got your message. And you can also join my Google group, through which definitely you will get already posted some other comments. In case if you didn't find your answer, you can post your questions. We have a set of team who monitor these questions time to time, and either our team or some other members of the group can definitely post your answer. Okay, how to post, how to add in your Google group, just drop me a mail. I will send you an invitation to join my Google group. Okay, my email ID is learn@learnvia.com. All right, and this way we can move forward. In case you want to join my batch, just drop me a mail. I mean, everything's if you if in case of any query, just drop me a mail. All right, so let me continue with my C program. Now this is my compiler. Team, in case anybody don't have the Turbo C compiler, just drop me a mail. I will give him a link through which he can download it. Also, I just recall there was a questions like a person is able to download the Turbo C, but he is unable to resize the screen, and the screen size was very small. So there was a very easy quick step to increase your size. Just right click here on the top corner of your compiler, and click on the properties, and under this font tab you can see the size of the screen. You can select, and you can here see the size increases as we move forward. So here you can increase or decrease your size. Also, I have noticed by default it comes as a raster font. So in case you don't want to use it, you can use Lucada console also. Okay, so these are few small tips which uh, in case of if it comes in my mind, I will definitely share with you all right, so let me start with my function program. And do remember that story. I'm going to implement the same story here. Let me write my first program in functions. Include stdio.h. Team, in case anybody don't have any idea or have any doubt, why and what's the reason why I'm including these std standard input output header files. Please feel free to ask me. There was a separate class in which I have explained all these things very well. So I will send that video to you, and you can see and understand. Even then, in case of any issue, just drop me a mail. I will re-explain you. All right. So here I have included our two header files, stdio.h and conio.h. Now, as usual, let me include my basic function main, and here is my structure. Now, there is a very important thing where whenever we going to write a function, like before writing any functions, we need to understand three things. All right. So we need to understand three things before writing any function. What are that? Number one is declaration. Okay. Number two is what? Initialization. And number three is definition. What are these things? What is definition, what is declaration, and what is initialization? Let me show you here. See what happened now. Before writing any functions, we need to intimate the compiler that, okay compiler, there is a functions I'm going to write, and probably in next few instruction you need to handle this, right? So we need to declare the functions to intimate my compiler. So in our case, uh, we have first functions, which is water. Let me write as thirsty. Mr. John was thirsty, so he went to water bottle shop. Then he was hungry, so he went to this restaurant. Okay, so hungry is my next function. And then finally, remember the story, he went to garage. So my third function is garage. Why I have declared here? Because I want to inform my compiler that compiler, see, I am going to use these functions in nearby statements. Please be prepared and handle it. Now, second one is what? We need to initialize. Okay. So, how we are going to initialize this? Before that, let me write clear screen. Hopefully everyone is having idea what's the use of this clear clr screen, and under which header files this functions comes. Now, so the story is, let me print a statement, printf Mr. John was at place A. Okay, So initially Mr. John was at place A here. Okay, now after that he went to water bottle shop. So here I am going to call a function, means Mr. John comes here and he was hungry, so he went to the water bottle shop. Alright, now third function, I am going to initialize all the functions here, but before that, I'm sorry, he was hungry also. Okay, so I am initializing these functions. And let me write one more statement at every place. Printf Mr. John was in main function, that is he is coming back to his previous track. Okay, let me write this same line at every place. Team, how do we copy this? Let's select it. Alt print alt insert is for, oh I'm sorry, forget it, sorry, control insert is for copy and shift insert is to paste. Now Mr. John is at place A, then he went to shop and thirsty, then he was in main, then hungry, then he was in main, then garage, then Mr. John reached at place B. Fair enough. So what I'm doing here, Mr. John is at place A, then he went to he went to water bottle shop, then he again come back to our main what do you say, main path, or here main represent my main function. Then he again went to this hungry function, means my control moves from main to hungry, and then again it comes back to main function, then again it goes to hungry function, execute some task, and then again come back to my main function. And as per the story, Mr. John reached at place B. Now this is my initialization part. Let me uh, write my definition part. Definition part is like, we need to write what exactly this function do, what are the set of instruction we gave in this function. So here my thirsty function is, let's say I'm just writing a print statement, printf Mr. John have some water. Okay, and next line, again. Let me copy this. Is control insert, then shift insert, and one more time for garage also. So my first function is thirsty, my next function is for hungry, and finally my third function is for garage. Oh, this is my third one. Anyway, it's hardly matter. Let's write like this only. It's hardly matter the way we define this function. So my third function is garage. So let me complete my garage and hungry function. So here let me write Mr. John is in garage, and here have some meal. Alright, so how does my this program works? It works like, here I am declaring three functions uh, which intimate my compiler that okay, compiler, please be prepared, there must be at least three functions. Totally we have to in other terms we have total four functions, but three functions are defined by me, by user defined, and that functions you need to handle it in coming statements. So please be prepared for that. And then after that I have cleared my screen. In case there was some output in my screen, then I have cleared it, and then I print Mr. John was at place A. As per the story, Mr. John is here. And then I called my function called thirsty, means my function goes to here and then comes back, and again I print Mr. John was in main. Okay, and similarly he went to hungry and then garage, and finally he reached. So it should print like Mr. John was at place A, then control goes from thirsty, from main to thirsty, means then it prints Mr. John has have some water, and then uh, printf Mr. John was in main, then Mr. John had some food, had some meal, let me write it had. Okay, and then Mr. John was in main, and then again it comes back to garage, and here it prints Mr. John is in garage, and then finally it print Mr. John reached at place B. This slash n is for next line character. Okay, so let me compile and execute. For that I need to press Ctrl F9. So I'm going to press Ctrl and then F9. So it's successfully compiled and execute. Let me see what's the output. To see the output, we need to press Alt and then F5. So here is my output. Mr. John was at place A. Then Mr. John had some water. Then again it comes back to his main. Then he went to have some meal. Then Mr. John was again comes back to his main. Then he again went to his a garage shop, and then he again comes back to his main, and finally he reaches to at place B. Okay, so this is one of the simplest program, and through which you can understand the actual meaning of function. Now we need to understand a number of things here. I mean, we can conclude few very important things here in functions. Number one, a C program contains at least one function. This is a very good question people used to ask, and that function is our main function. Okay, so in every C program there must be a single function. There must be at least one function, and also there is no limit as such. As far as I know, there is no limit on the number of functions that might be present in a C program. Okay, and like as we have seen, each function in a program is called in a sequence specified by the function call in that main. Means it's hardly matter, I mean, how we have define, how we I mean what's the I mean what I mean how the way we have define the functions. Like here, see, I'm defining my function thirsty first, then garage, then hungry. However, I'm calling my thirsty, then hungry, and garage. So it's hardly matter how we are defining, but it's matter how we are initializing the function, how we are calling the function from our main program. And after each execution of this function, it returns back to the main program, that is controls return back to its main program. And when main functions runs out, the function calls I mean when the main functions runs, then it's end of the program. All right, is there any doubt to anybody? Just drop me a mail. Okay, and don't forget to write your comments, give me your feedback, so that on the basis of that I can include further topics or further tips and tricks in my upcoming videos. All right, so thanks for watching, and do visit to my coming class uh, for the remaining part of the function. This is my first function class. There are a lot of more to come, like recursive functions, how we are going to call function inside the function. uh, oh, okay, before I wind up, let me show you one more thing, which I have already told you in my story. Like just recall, like I need to show how a function call another function, right? I uh, just want to show you here. Like for example, inside this thirsty function, let's say I call hungry function, HUNGRY, hungry function. So what happen when the control comes to thirsty function? Print Mr. John had some water. So from here, control goes to hungry function. Means after this line, this controls move to my hungry function, and then it will print Mr. John had some meal. Okay, so let me try to execute this. I just press Control F9, and let's see what's the output. I just press Alt F5. So here we can see uh, after Okay, after thirsty it goes to hungry. So after have some water it should print meal. Let's see, after some water, see, it comes to meal, and then main, then meal, then main. So here my control goes to my meal function, which is been called from my thirsty function. Okay, I think I have covered everything what I have told you in this story. All right, so hopefully this program gives you a very good picture of what is function. Let me save this also. Save this as function part 1. Okay, so in my coming videos you will see the remaining part of the function. All right, thanks for watching. Thank you so much.